How's it going, everybody? It's Pilot Flame, and we are back with another preseason FPL video. And today we're going to be taking a look at our next team in our Team Watch series, and that is Newcastle, the Magpies. We're going to be taking a look at what players I think are going to be doing quite well in FPL this season, what players I'm not too keen on at the moment or something might need to change, as well as what they're doing in the transfer market this summer to actively change our decisions for FPL options this coming season. If you haven't done so already, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new or haven't done so already. It greatly helps out the channel, as well as turn those notification bells on so that you can get the content as soon as it is readily available. Also, make sure to join our FPL League, which is over on Twitter, so give us a follow over there. It will be in the bio over there for the new league code for the Flames Recruits League, so make sure to check out that as well. And give us a follow over on Twitch so that you can see when we go live for our preview and deadline streams for the season, which will be starting up a week on Monday, which is going to be quite exciting as well. So without further ado, let's talk about Fantasy Football Scout. We have partnered up with Fantasy Football Scout for this coming Fantasy Premier League season, and they're giving you an exclusive offer. Use the link down in the description to get 20% off your Fantasy Football Scout membership. It gives you access to the exclusive members area, which has new tools such as the 3-player comparison tool, as well as some old favorites such as the Rate My Team tool, the Season Ticker, and my personal favorite, the fully customizable stats tables, which you can share among other Fantasy Football Scout members, powered by Opta Stats. Use the link down in the description below to get 20% off your membership today. Sign up now. Now with Newcastle, they started to show a bit more attacking form towards the end of last season. If we just look at their last 4 game weeks in comparison to their season, 14 out of their 59, well close to 60 big chances came in the last 4 matches that they played. So when you think about it, that's a quarter of their big chances pretty much came in the last 4 matches. So they definitely upped that. 32 shots as well out of the 250 inside the box. And also 5.49 of their non-penalty XG also came in those last 4 game weeks of matches played. Now, with that being said, that could have been a situation where they knew they were kind of safe and it didn't really matter whether they finished 17th, 16th, 15th, and I think they ended up finishing like 13th or 12th or something like that, if I remember correctly. But I think Steve Bruce had them playing a bit more on the front foot, and it usually came down to the fact that they had the man down at the bottom of your screen in Callum Wilson back. 4 big chances, 5 shots inside the box, 2.59 XGI. He's basically the guy to go for. I've just put St. Maximin and Joe Linton in there because they are other attacking options as well. But I think if you're going to have one, it's going to be Callum Wilson. He did pick up an injury towards the latter half of the season, as well as at the very end of the season. So we'll be kind of waiting to see how fully fit he is at the start of the season. But I think Callum Wilson on his day is definitely somebody at 7.5 million could produce the goods. I can see him getting anywhere from 12 to 15 goals across the season, even playing for a side like Newcastle. Now, will they be in and around the relegation zone again, potentially? That is definitely a possibility, but you would think off the start they may be okay. You know, West Ham at home isn't terrible to start. Aston Villa away isn't terrible. Southampton at home should be good for them. Man United away is obviously always going to be difficult, but I think that Steve Bruce may have a solution for them with Callum Wilson back in the team. St. Maximin is also alongside him up in that front line, and has also been changed to a forward this season as well. So he's seen a price hike of 1 million. He was 5.5 last season, now 6.5 million, and he is now positioned as a forward. So not necessarily an FPL option. He's definitely a chance creator more than a goal scorer. He kind of just, you know, rips 3 players and then passes it off to Wilson if he can, or has a shot from a longer range. And he kind of has to do that, and that's pretty much what they did when Wilson and St. Maximin were on the team. The problem for Newcastle is that they're both injury prone, so that would be something to be a bit wary of. Joe Linton would be the other one, 6 million, just because his price is so low. He is positioned as a forward as well, so there's not many forwards below 6.5 million that are actually worth really looking at until we get a little bit more of what they're going to be doing. So whether Joe Linton starts or whether he's going to be coming off the bench, we'll have to kind of see. But if they, if he starts off okay, then maybe 6 million might be the price point that we could potentially go to. most players or managers in their teams now, they're looking potentially Ivan Toney, but they're not going to go anything below that. And he's 6.5 million. And a lot of the really good strikers at the moment in the forward lines of teams is the likes of Wilson at 7.5, Watkins is 7.5, Antonio 7.5, and Calvert-Lewin is at 8 million. So to go all the way down to 6 million is a bit of a drop off, and we may need those funds elsewhere if the likes of Kane goes to Man City, or you want the likes of Son or Sancho, whoever that may be. So we definitely are looking for a little bit more budget options up front. I think Callum Wilson definitely fits that bill and is going to be the talisman for Newcastle as he was last season when he was fit. Now, with that being said, let's take a look at some of the not so great options for Newcastle going into the 2021-22 season. Now, something I'm not too keen on for Newcastle is their defense, mainly their goalkeeper, even though they both seen price drops in Darlow and Dubravka. Dubravka, we suspect, will be the main goalkeeper when fully fit. Lascelles will be a mainstay at center back, assuming he stays. And Jamal Lewis will be someone who you'll see often on one of the full back slots. I believe he can play both sides, but I think he's more comfortable on the right-hand side of a back four. With the defensive changes potentially being, making them a little bit more susceptible to receiving counter-attacking goals if they're going to be a bit more attacking, that's why I'm not too keen on it. And West Ham, they can definitely score on the counter. Aston Villa, very good on the counter. Southampton can be good on the counter, but if they leave holes open at the back themselves, could be a very, back and forward sort of game. And then Man United, who are very good at and have bolstered their attacking prowess going into the season with the likes of Jadon Sancho, and also prevented themselves from potentially scoring as many, or conceding as many goals rather, with Raphael Varane. So I think the likes of Dubravka, Lascelles, Lewis, any of these defensive options might be a wait and see. Dubravka is a goalkeeper that if he's able to make saves, he will be in the bonus. I think he does save quite a lot. If you look over the last 4 matches, 10 saves total, which is quite good. An XG prevented of 1.32. That means he basically prevented an extra goal in 1/3 over those 4 matches. So again, quite good. Although his Euro performance was, very underwhelming, and he did have that one very crucial mistake versus Spain, which ultimately meant that his country would leave the competition. We'll have to kind of see how that plays out. Maybe Darlow starts the season. We don't know. It's very similar to kind of the Man United situation. They both have 2 goalkeepers that are probably equal or maybe one slightly better than the other, and it's just a matter of who's going to start, and both of them are at the same price, which just makes it a little bit on the difficult side. Lascelles, his stats are pretty good for a 4.5 million defender in my opinion. 0.58 XGI, so he's expected to be involved at least in a half a goal or an assist over the last 4 matches, and from a center back, that's not too bad. So if you're thinking across the whole season, 8 matches he'd be involved in at least a goal or an assist. Over 32 games, he'll be 4 goals or 4 assists, or a combination of the two. And from a 4.5 million center back, I think that's okay. If they can up their clean sheets, then maybe they're an option there. Lewis, however, his productivity is mainly going to be chance creation. Only 3 bonus points across the whole season, much like Lascelles, but doesn't really get that involved. Maybe the more attacking style coming into this new season will favor him on the overlap potentially. That will be, I believe, Almiron's side, although St. Maximin and Almiron do kind of swap flanks. Maybe allows him to get down the byline and whip crosses into the likes of Callum Wilson, or back post runs by St. Maximin or Willock if they were to sign him when he was on loan there as well, if he returns for this season. But yeah, I'm not too keen on Newcastle's defense. I think the attacking options are probably a little bit better, mainly Wilson being the one that is touted to be the kind of budget forward for Newcastle, and one that could definitely score some goals, who's also on penalties as well. The defense just a bit lacking, and I don't see very many clean sheets in the opening 4 as well. And now, with that being done, let's see what Newcastle are doing in the transfer market to help strengthen their position for their squad going into the new season. Now, Newcastle's transfer activity is going to be quite crucial, I think, for them this off-season, mainly due to the fact that Willock was one of their standout players towards the latter half of the season when he came on loan from Arsenal. He's currently priced at 6 million, which would be a very good price point, I think. There's not many players in that bracket at the moment. Only really Harrison stands out at 6 million. So if he came to Newcastle and performed as he did when they were, he was getting all those chances, scoring all those goals. I think he could be a bargain in FPL. Would cost them close to £14 million. Again, these are all estimations as to what the transfers could be according to Transfermarkt and are not official unless announced by the club. These are just valuations of their current value based on estimations by Transfermarkt. But Willock would definitely be quite good, allowing the likes of St. Maximin to be closer to Wilson, allowing Joe Linton, Almiron, these sorts of players to kind of, run the front three, and he can kind of, supply them and make late runs into the box. Similarly with Mario Lemina from Southampton currently. He would be somebody that would be coming in as a potential, kind of box-to-box, more defensive-minded midfielder. He could be, surplus to requirements over at Southampton. I think it's Kajuste, I think it's how it's pronounced, from FC Midtjylland. He could be coming in for approximately 4.3, or I think it's 5 million euros to Newcastle. He is a defensive-minded midfielder as well, quite young as well, and could be someone who comes in to replace potentially one of the outs, which would be Isaac Hayden, who is linked to Southampton as well. So maybe there's a swap deal potentially going on there with the likes of Lemina and Hayden. So one goes one way, one goes the other way. That could be something that could happen. Hayden has been in the Newcastle team for quite some time. Not really an FPL option, but definitely would, make their defensive solidity a little bit in question, because Lemina, obviously a new player coming in. Will he be able to perform as he did when he played for Southampton? We'll have to see. Hayden was, sometimes good, sometimes bad. But again, with Bruce's new system potentially being more attack-minded, maybe he needs more of a box-to-box type of player in the double pivot in a 4-2-3-1 type of system, rather than a kind of out-and-out holder destroyer, which is what Hayden actually is. Lemina can do those little bits, but there's a little bit more action going forward as well. Christian Atsu as well. Also, he has left on a free transfer. He's gone over to the Saudi league. I believe I have it on my other screen here. Al Raid, I don't know how to pronounce it, but the Saudi professional league. He's left on a free transfer. A few seasons ago was 5 million in FPL. Was the FPL kind of savior. Was getting goals and assists for Newcastle for 5 million in a midfield slot. Was fantastic. We could find out one of those this season. That'd be great. Don't see any arising as of yet. And then lastly, Lejuan from Newcastle as a center back is gone to Deportivo Alaves for an undisclosed fee. He was a center back that often could play in a back three, could play in a back two as well. Newcastle did have a lot of injuries at the back throughout the last season or two as well, so maybe they're looking to bring in somebody else in there. There's been rumors of Axel Tuanzebe potentially coming on loan, which I think would be a fantastic move for not only Newcastle, but also for Tuanzebe to get first team football in a Premier League side week in, week out. I think that would be fantastic for him, because I think he's a brilliant center back. He's getting to that age now. I think he's 23 going on 24, or 24 going on 25, where you kind of want to be getting regular minutes game in, game out. So yeah, I think that would be fantastic as well. Now, that is going to do it for the transfers for Newcastle. Let me know if you would be considering Joe Willock in the comments down below, with those open for fixtures, which could lead to some potential attacking returns for Newcastle in those 4 fixtures. I'm certainly considering it. I think it would be a better option for him over Harrison, rather, if you have Rafinha already in your team, as that 6 million slot, which could open up some different avenues there based on his performances from last season. And that is going to do it for our Team Watch edition for Newcastle. If you haven't done so already, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. It greatly helps out the channel, and we appreciate it dearly, as well as turn those notification bells on so that you can get the videos as soon as they are readily available. Drop us a follow over on Twitter, and while you're at it, join our FPL League as well, which will be in the Twitter bio. It's also down in the description below. And drop us a follow over on Twitch if you want to see when we go live for our preview and deadline streams, which will be starting a week on Monday for that. And lastly, use the link down in the description for Fantasy Football Scout. 20% off your Fantasy Football Scout membership. It's a fantastic offer, and it allows you to get access to various different table creation tools, as well as player comparisons, all that sort of stuff, which are fantastic to help elevate your FPL game. Thank you for watching, and until the next one, take care.